to step 3 of the change process series. Look, we're going to look at step 3 is all about the B. It's begin, become, and this is the B of our process. And this is all about flow. And what I mean by flow is that if you have worked through the steps 1 and 2, and that is that you're now taking inspired action towards the clarity that you have about this vision of your designed life, and you've done it with attachment and understanding and awareness of the contrasts and the way you're feeling and those different things that we've spoken about, and you're taking those what's next that matters kind of lily pads, then you're likely to be experiencing some feelings and some outcomes where life is kind of feeling a little easier, opportunities are coming your way. All of a sudden, it's not so much of a battle to get to be living the things that feel good to you. So I've said it before, but for me, this is this feeling of life coming at us rather than us chasing life. And this is where we should be, and it's certainly the place that we're looking to be through this creation of change. So what I want to do, though, in the time that we've got is just consider a couple of little things that when you're in this flow can perhaps upset the balance a little bit. So, and I want to focus on the main one here, this transition one, but just a couple of things to be aware of that can possibly just keep you, knock you off kilter a little bit. Is some of the challenges are going to be things like habit. You need to be aware that over 90% of your thoughts every day are from habit, and it's very hard to create change from habit, very much so because habit's based on the past, not the future. So that very notion there is very limiting. So you've got to look for ways to challenge the habitual things you do. And they can be very simple things: sleep on a different side of the bed, sit in a different chair, take a different route to work, and obviously then you can stem from there. But again, look for those easy little lily pads, those early momentums that you can get. Environment's another one. So it's going to be pretty hard to commit to a weight loss program if when you're at the supermarket you've bought a pile of junk food whilst you tell yourself, I'll put it in the back of the pantry and never eat it. I think we all know that's bullshit. People, unfortunately, many people who are around you are pretty happy about where you're at, really. And unfortunately, human nature so often looks at people looking in mirrors when they're looking at others, really, and that is that your wins aren't so much about your wins as what they are about, well, what am I inadequate about, or so on, So you need to be aware of that, and I'm not saying you need to make dramatic changes about that, unless you do, but you just need to be aware of these types of things, because you've set yourself up for some success here. You've got this vision, you understand the idea of taking inspired action, and you just need to know the reality is that the life you've been building is still happening. You don't say, I want to go from broke to rich and it happens overnight. You don't go from being unhealthy to healthy overnight. There are things at play already in your world that don't just stop overnight. And that's what I want to focus on a little bit more. So, and I like to call this is a bit of the transition trap. And what I want to look at here is that awareness alone is enough to get you through this. And I think many of us have either experienced or certainly know what this looks like. And that is that somebody's moving, or you've had an experience of moving well towards a goal, and you're going so well. And then at some point in time, it just feels like something from the past, or it's just not moving quick enough, it's plateaued, whatever that is. And it's like, man, I've been doing all the right things for the last few weeks and I'm not making any progress, or the last few years, or whatever it might be. And at that time you can feel like, man, it's just harder. And how does this really work? Is it working for me? And all these questions come up. And what we really need to do here is, through awareness, is just take responsibility for those experiences. Now, what I'm looking at here is that, and I call this a transition trap. So you're currently here. This is your current life experience where we observe the contrast and that seeded this vision that we're looking for, and you decided that you want to be over here in your kingdom, and you're currently taking steps to get there, and the momentum's building and all these sorts of things, but then you still have these periods where it's like, oh, I'm just stuck here, or something keeps coming up from the past, or whatever it is. And what I want us just to understand is that we already had a life at play before we decided this outcome, and it's coming along as well. It has momentum already. You're trying to build momentum, and what is going to happen is that momentum just is not likely to stop overnight. It will, what you're looking for is that your new momentum will gradually overtake it, and it will dissipate down to nothing. But you must acknowledge and take responsibility for the fact that the things that you are living right now are of your creation. So that's a big thing. Get hold of that, because that awareness and knowledge, when you hit that tough spot and you stand up and you say, well, I'm owning that because I created it and I'll take responsibility for it, that is what will keep you moving towards the next lily pad. And I think that this is, in amongst the whole process, that alone is one of the absolute keys to staying the course, provided you've set the course right by knowing the right goal, the right vision. You have that clarity, as we said in step 1, based around the observation of contrast and using that to understand what would feel good, and then moving towards feeling good for you, not for what externally looks good and all those types of things. You're taking the actions, you're respecting the process and getting each little lily pad lined up and moving towards it. So assuming you've got all that in place and you're doing those things, even with that in place, the life you've already built will continue until such times that your momentum and flow overtakes it. So I just want you to be aware of that and own it, and then keep moving forward so that you continue to live this path and don't let this one just continue to take over. So there it is, really. That's the change process. Like I said, it's not a goal setting exercise. It's a higher level take on what it is to move your life from where it is to where you might want it to be. And we'll explore different aspects of that in future blogs, and certainly based on your comments and questions, we will feed out and understand what it is that might help you make that next step or understand clarity around a particular point. But just use this to take the idea of that's the high levels of what it is to move from where you are and create some change that would take you to where you truly want to be. And look, that's the begin, become, be process. And that is what I think we are all deserving of. We are all deserving of a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, one of purpose, one that ultimately is happiness to us internally, and that's the life that we get to live. So look, and I hope that's the life you get to live. I hope you find the king in you or the queen in you, and you make these things happen. Please let me know if you've got any comments, and we'll work from there. But good luck on your journey, and it is exactly that. Respect each part of the process, own and be responsible for the parts of your life that are already at play, and take the necessary actions to live the best life you can and be the best person you can possibly be. So all the best and good luck with it. Begin, become, be.